Hi, in this video we are going to learn how to apply our first inference rule, the conjunction rule. Hi, this is Logic Self-Taught with Dr. Phi. In this video we are going to learn our first inference rule, the conjunction rule. We will learn how to apply it and how not to apply it, what mistakes to watch out for. There is a separate video on proofs with the conjunction rule. The conjunction rule allows us to introduce a conjunction to the proof. Basically, the rule says, look, if you have two propositions, however complex, on their own lines, you're allowed to infer a conjunction of these two propositions. We have a derivation line with two propositions, P and R, on line 3 and 7, respectively. We are allowed to add another line to the proof with P and R, or alternatively with R and P. You can use conjunction to justify both moves. It's useful to treat the order of the line numbers to remind you of the order in which you conjoined the two propositions. The conjunction rule is very intuitive. Let's look at examples. Jim is tall, Kim is not tall, we are told. So Jim is, but Kim is not tall. A more complex case, if it rains, Jane will go to the mall. If it's sunny, Jane will go to the park. So, Jane will go to the park if it's sunny, but she'll go to the mall if it rains. The conjunction rule applied to lines 1 and 2 tells us you are allowed to construct a conjunction with the whole proposition from line 1 as the first conjunct and the whole proposition from line 2 as the second conjunct. Conjunction applied to line 2 and 1 tells us we are allowed to infer a conjunction with the whole proposition from line 2 as the first conjunct and the whole proposition in line 1 as the second conjunct. This time we are supposed to apply conjunction to line 2 and 1, and we proceed as before. We construct a conjunction with the whole proposition from line 2 as the first conjunct and the whole proposition from line 1 as the second conjunct. Note that we need to embrace the complex propositions, other than negations, in parentheses. In applying conjunction to line 1 and line 2, we proceed in the same way. The proposition in line 1 becomes our first conjunct, the proposition in line 2 our second conjunct. One common error that students make is that they generalize the inference rules. So they might think to themselves, look, conjunction allows us to create more complex propositions. They say, oh wow, so I can use the rule to construct complex propositions. You cannot construct either disjunctions or conditionals or biconditionals by means of the conjunction rule. The result of applying the conjunction rule will always be a conjunction. The main connective must be the dot. Another common error has to do with the fact that inference rules do not apply to components of propositions. One might be tempted to apply conjunction in the following way. Conjunction here is applied just to the consequent of the proposition in line 1, to B. The resulting formula is not a conjunction though, it is a conditional. This is a misapplication of the rule precisely because we cannot apply the inference rule just to the consequent or just to the antecedent or just to another component of a proposition. The only way to apply conjunction to line 1 and line 2 is to take the whole proposition from line 1, the conditional in this case, embrace it in parentheses, and stick it in as the first conjunct, and take C to be the second conjunct. Of course, you could apply it in the alternative order. What if we had a conjunction, A and B, and a simple proposition C? Would we apply conjunction in the following way? Again, no, because in this case, conjunction is applied only to the second conjunct of the proposition in line 1. So this is again a misapplication of the conjunction rule. There is only one way to apply conjunction to line 1 and 2 in this order, and that is to take the whole proposition in line 1, the whole conjunction, embrace it in parentheses, and conjoin it with C. Here's another way one may be tempted to misapply the conjunction rule. But again, if you look carefully, you will see that what happens is that one applies the conjunction rule just to the first conjunct, actually takes it out and conjoins C to it. That's a misapplication of the conjunction rule once again. Another common error in applying the conjunction rule involves forgetting that conjunction is a two-place connective, and the conjunction rule allows us to form two-place conjunctions. We have three premises given, simple propositions A, B, and C, and we infer A and B and C. The problem is that we've said that each conjunct must stand on its own line. Remember, C stands on its own line, namely line 3, but A and B stands on neither of the three lines. Hence, we cannot apply conjunction in this way. Clearly, however, there is a strategy available for us of proving the proposition in line 4. We will just need to do it in two steps. We can first conjoin line 1 and 2, obtain the conjunction A and B by means of the conjunction rule. Now that we have the conjunction in line 4, we can take the whole conjunction, embrace it in parentheses, and conjoin it with C, thereby obtaining exactly what we wanted. Remember, each time you apply conjunction, you're only allowed to obtain a conjunction with two conjuncts, each of which must stand on its own line in your prior proof. This is Logic Self-Taught. It's exercise time. Do all the exercises until they feel like a breeze.